at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Idaho Sports Talk has all the right pieces for another successful show. Keep your head in the show, Prater and Johnny.
The offseason is rolling on, and spring football is on the way in March. It's time for the new Players Spotlight as Prater and the Ballgame introduce you to one of the newest Broncos.
All right, Prater and the Ballgame, episode 1 of this new series. Who the heck are these guys? Well, Prater, we're going to start today getting to know the new additions, the transfers and whatnot with a transfer from a very big school. Let's talk about Taebron Bennie-Powell, which means, hey, this is a hyphenated last name. So we're just going to call it right now. This guy's going to be a stud, and everybody's going to call him TBP. 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 That's what we do in this town. Whenever this team has a hyphenated guy, you just TBT it. Jaden Virgin Moore. Wait. No. JVM.
Yep.
LVE.
Yes, sir.
And SWR.
Oh, good one.
I mean, all of them, man. I mean, this will be TBP, I think. Taebron Bennie-Powell, Prater. Is a transfer from Notre Dame.
I like the TBP.
TBP.
I'm going to have to work on that one. Although I think Bennie-Powell kind of sounds really cool, especially if you throw in that first name, Taebron Bennie-Powell. By the way, did you know that Taebron Bennie-Powell has a brother in college?
I do know.
And his name is LeBron.
I saw that. His brother is LeBron Bennie-Powell. He's Taebron Bennie-Powell.
I thought that was kind of funny.
That is pretty funny. That's good and that's bad for the brothers, right?
100%. So he's playing Division III basketball. He's not getting a Scully. Taebron Bennie-Powell, or TBP, is definitely getting a scholarship from Boise State. 16 transfers, guys, including one that signed in December, 15 that just recently signed. Every one of them on campus right now. 3 of them are safeties, and all 3 of those safeties are transfers. So you can kind of take a look at what Spencer Danielson and his crew wanted in terms of trying to fill some holes, and safety is certainly one of them. Zion's gone, Ty Benefield's gone, and here comes Bennie-Powell. The one thing that really stands out for me about Bennie-Powell, and we'll dive into who he is and what he can bring to the table, is Boise State just lost its best player in terms of Ty Benefield, a safety, a 6'2", 6'3" safety who's now playing in the SEC. Boise State has 9 players on it, 9 safeties listed on its roster, and there's only 2 of them above 6 feet tall, including Kyle Hall, another safety transfer coming in from College of San Mateo, and then this kid, Taebron Bennie-Powell, listed at 6'1". I like the fact that he's tall. I want Boise State safeties and secondary guys to be a lot taller. Physically, he checks the box for me, Ballgame.
Let's get this guy ready. He wasn't ready to play last year for Notre Dame, albeit that was a really good Notre Dame team. He played the one game because you get 4 of them, and he had a tackle against Syracuse.
A 70-7 victory over Syracuse.
Right, so everybody got in that game. So he wasn't ready to play yet.
And this is even after a redshirt year, because he's been there for 2 years.
He is a redshirt
game
sophomore.
Yeah, yes.
So good point. He wasn't ready to play certainly 2 years ago. I hope he's ready to play, right? I thought he was like first team All-State. And that's in Ohio his senior year. I know he was only a 3-star, but when you sign and go to Notre Dame from high school, that's such a big deal. And you guys know that's like going to Duke to play college basketball.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. The whole community knows about it when a kid is going to Notre Dame, and this happened for this guy, and he's going to join Jaden Mickey, who was a teammate of his 2 years ago. If you track back, they were both on that Notre Dame Irish team that went to the national championship game that season. And I mean, if you're going to pluck guys who've never played before, the Notre Dame pedigree, I think the Mickey pick solidifies this, or says, hey, the last Notre Dame kid we brought was a success. This is something maybe we can create a pipeline for. Not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing. And the story of Bennie-Powell is he was going to go to either Kentucky, Duke, West Virginia, or Pitt. Those were his final 4. And Notre Dame comes in really, really late and gets him. They think maybe because of a position of need and maybe a couple of other dudes kind of bailed. Everybody plays that game. Everybody plays that game when it comes to recruiting, so no big deal. So, yeah, he ends up at Notre Dame, and that is a big deal. If you think he's coming in to be Mickey, who was the starting nickel last year, think again. Mickey came to Boise State after 582 snaps at Notre Dame.
Totally different. Yeah.
TBP came to Boise State after
You messed it up already.
13 snaps at Notre Dame. 13 snaps. So completely different. From 582 to 13, a completely different skill set and piece of experience. I wouldn't be surprised if Bennie-Powell didn't play early on, but he's got 3 years of eligibility. I promise you he's going to be pretty darn good by the time he's done.
Yeah, that's the thing that stood out for me. Ballgame, you mentioned where he's from. There are certain states that you just immediately think football when you hear that state. Florida, Texas, California with the hotbed of quarterbacks, and Ohio is right there. I mean, gosh, that OH chant at Ohio State games always gets me going. And, the Pro Football Hall of Fame is in Canton. So there is a nice lineage here of Ohio producing high-level football players. So you like that. And frankly, I think these are the kinds of kids that Boise State should be rolling the dice on in the transfer portal because, as we said, you get them for 3 years if this works out. And we know that Boise State, relative to the other G6 programs, is one of, if not the best programs at retaining their players. So you got them for 3 years, and you're essentially getting a more seasoned high school recruit. Not that he played a ton necessarily, but he's 2 years, 3 years removed from high school now, and should be ready to come right in and play, even though he didn't at Notre Dame. I would expect this guy to play a lot, and if they can hit on him, we know they're good at keeping players, so I think it's better to take a chance on somebody that hasn't played as opposed to a P4 guy that, for one reason or another, just didn't play well.
Yeah, no, I think that's very well said. And there hasn't been a lot written about him, obviously, at Notre Dame because of his lack of playing time and experience there. I did find a story from an Ohio newspaper that talked about his high school defensive coordinator. And these are the quotes that he said about Bennie-Powell. Extremely athletic, a freak athlete, smart, tough, and 9 times out of 10, he's the best athlete on the field. Now, that's obviously in high school, but that also goes back to Ohio high school football, which you guys were just talking about. So I think that there's some really good football laying in the weeds for this guy. And I love his physicalness and the physical presence that he brings. It's just a matter of making sure that you can get him in space and get him out there and get him ready to play some football. This spring camp is going to be the most important 3 weeks of his entire life when it comes to football.
All right, Chad in Boise chiming in says, tell Prater I'd take LeBron at safety. That'd be kind of nice.
Hey, he's got plenty of eligibility, right?
He almost went to Akron as a tight end, didn't he? Or was it Ohio State?
Probably Ohio State. He quit. LeBron James quit playing football in high school, I think his sophomore year.
Yeah.
And it was just too big. But he would have been an absolute stud there. Yeah. This is why I agree. This is a good sign. The pedigree from Notre Dame. This would have been the type of player that I think Boise State would have recruited out of high school. He's a 3-star, not a 4 or 5. So you think you have a shot with him. He's first team All-State Ohio. So you love the pedigree.
Also honor roll and very, 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 very faith-based.
Have to be to get into Notre Dame. The faith-based, yeah, that helps getting into Notre Dame as well.
And it helps in the Spencer Danielson.
100%. I would agree with that too.
Thank you, Jesus, for the victory.
Like-minded stuff. Good stuff, Greg. But he's cheap. Spencer Danielson didn't have to fight off money to pay TBP. The guy's been at Notre Dame for 2 years. He's played in one game in the biggest blowout, maybe in Notre Dame history, 77 to whatever the score was. Yeah. 77 to 7.
70 to 7.
77 might be the biggest blowout in the history of Notre Dame football. That's the only game he played. So I'll just say it, okay? Notre Dame, if you're a Notre Dame guy, you missed on this kid. He didn't work out. He wasn't good enough to play for you. He realizes that now. He's in the portal looking at a place to play and a decent place where he can maybe the new bounce back. Plays at Boise State 1 year, and then all of a sudden this time next year, he's in the portal figuring out what Ty Benefield's plan was, that type of thing.
I also think
it helps for Boise State to be able to get this. You don't have to pay for these kids. Kid that doesn't cost any money, you would think, because he doesn't have anything. He just wants to play.
I don't know the full list of offers that this kid had coming out of the portal, but I also think that this is a nice win for the Boise State brand because somebody from Ohio who played at Notre Dame, you would have thought there would have been plenty of programs, even G6 ones, in the upper Midwest area, Ohio, Indiana, Minnesota, whatever the state is in that region, that he could have stayed at and played there, but he wanted to come all the way out west and play at Boise State. I think that's a good sign for just the strength of the brand.
Cannot wait to talk to these guys. Hopefully we get to talk to them. Who knows when, based on the rules down there. But I would imagine it was all about Jaden Mickey and the connection. And here comes in Ballgame, that was so well said about the perfect fit for Boise State. I guarantee you he didn't come with any money or very little money at all, because we all know that Spencer Danielson makes you earn it. So it's almost like a high school kid coming in with a fresh start. You got 3 years of eligibility. Jaden Mickey's going to open the door for you. We're going to prosper you and try to get you figured out, and you're going to get a chance to earn that kind of money. So I think it's a win-win. I really like this kid. I like the numbers. I like the size. I like a lot of things about this. Cannot wait to see him on the field in March.
Yeah, these are the type of kids that, for whatever the reason, when Notre Dame's on the phone, you're not going to listen to Boise State as much when you're in high school and the other offers he was fielding. But Boise State now in the game can get back in on these kids and say, yeah, maybe we are a good spot. But, it's not like Boise State's going to win a recruiting battle for a 3-star defensive back in Ohio ever with Notre Dame. It won't happen, but you can get them on the greasy side, Prater, and try to, figure out where that talent was. Exceptional world-class athlete, like you said. Again, Taebron Bennie-Powell. That's the safety from Notre Dame. Is he going to replace Zion? Is he going to replace Buck? Where are they going to fit him? It's all part of it.
Yeah, cannot wait to see how he's got some parts. Spencer and his defensive staff have some parts to play around with after losing lots of parts in the offseason on this defense. So I would have to think that he's going to definitely be a part of that.
Hey, Benefield Buck was 0, right? Number 0 last year?
Correct.
He's number 1 at LSU. You see that?
Is he really?
They gave him a badass number. He's in there saying, he didn't get 0. I'm guessing somebody had that, but he settled on number 1. Prater in the ball game. Heather Cox talking Olympics. She's the great Heather Cox from NBC Sports. We'll be covering the Winter Olympic Games. We'll talk to her in about a half hour. But coming up, how about Leon Rice? He was asked if this is the deepest team he's had at Boise State. Do you think it is? Let us know. You'll hear from Leon next on KTIK The Ticket.